There we go. There we go. Now you should be able to hear me. Did you know that California wants to convert the entire state over to electric cars? But where are you going to plug in your electric car? There happens to be an energy shortage. Oh, got to put this on Do Not Disturb. The Vatican, did you know that the Vatican just ordered all funds must go into the Vatican Bank by September 30th? Is this a sign as to what's to come with our global currencies? We will see. More than 12 million people, excuse me, I need a drink. More than 12 people were shot in Philadelphia over the weekend. And Mercury retrograde hasn't even gone direct yet. What's next for America? What's next for the world? Did you know that Putin cut off Nord Stream 1, now cutting off Europe from more energy resources? Is this my prediction in the past of major power outages and people freezing to death? Is that now inevitable after freezing that particular pipeline? Soon time will tell. And we've had significant earthquakes that hit New Zealand, Greece, Iran, and a 6.6 quake that hit China pretty darn good. And as I predicted in the past, not that long ago, that would happen, especially in China. Who's next? Who's going to feel the shaking on the earth next? We will all talk about all that today. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 31 of Tuesday's Teatime Predictions Updates. I thank you all for coming by. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hopefully you like the content here. And if so, please be sure to hit that subscribe, the bell, followed by all. And even if you've done that, always check your subscriptions because people mysteriously become unsubscribed or their notifications mysteriously get turned off. Not just from this channel, but other channels as well. So always check. Also, it's a really good idea to give a little like down below too, because I love all of you. And a little like shows the algorithms exactly what you need to see and want to see. Really important. I am here every single Tuesday at approximately 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. So you will always find me here on Tuesday, so come and look. I always post right before the show. Also down below, you will find all the links to all my social media, including the Awaken Your Spirit Subscribe Star support community, because I could not do the work that I do and provide all this time and energy to you without the support that you all give me. And I love and appreciate you more than you know for that love and support. I thank all my members that have joined down below. And again, just for being a part of this tribe and hitting that subscribe means a lot to me and for the information that comes through from my spirit guides to you. Today's topics are going to include Germany's future, Russia's decisions, recent outbreaks and predictions around future outbreaks, water shortages and the future of our water, the elite are falling out windows. Does this align with my previous predictions on the elite dying off and being killed or murdered? That's all today on this 31st episode of Tittle Tea Time. Let me grab some tea. Sweet tangerine positive energy. It's my favorite one. It also gives me the energy to keep going with you all. Yes. So yes, indeed, the month of September came in rushing, my friends, with an energy and a force that is yet to go into overdrive. In a few days, not only will we enter into the direct retrograde on the 9th or the 10th, depending on where in the globe you live, but also we will enter into the full moon phase on the 10th. And the third, that begins and marks off the third energy shift of 2022, beginning on the 10th, 9th, 10th, depending on where you live. It will come in on the 10th, actually the full moon on the 10th, and it's going to hit like a tsunami wave. To those especially who are not grounded or prepared in any way for these coming energies. That's why I encourage you all to meditate and ground your energy. Thank you, Michelle, for your PayPal support. I love you for that. I just saw it pop up on my phone. Thank you. So yes, I encourage you all to meditate, ground your energy, learn to do so, because this coming weekend can and will be both powerful and emotional, especially if we plug our emotions into positive agendas and goals while unplugging from mass media and the negative. This could be a great time to make things happen in your life. This is a time of clearing, a time of healing, a time of nurturing, and a time for us to be willing to let go of things physically, energetically, and of course, emotionally. That's why these cycles bring up so many different emotions. September is a 9-month, as you know, but also it's a 6 universal month in 2022. I talked to you a little bit about this last week. The 9 vibration, along with the direct Mercury retrograde, will assist us. And thank you, Sandra. You are so good to me. I love you, Sandra. Thank you for your PayPal support. Where was I? Yeah, so October. So the 9-month, the 9 vibration aligns pretty well with Mercury retrograde in the aspect that it can assist us in clearing away the old so that we can welcome in the new come the month of October, which is going to be all about renewal. October is going to be a very high vibrational spiritual month, something that we can all kind of look forward to, actually. Many people are in fear, and many people will go into fear as these emotions go into overdrive come this weekend. I say to you, my friends, the only fear that you should fear is the fear of finally and actually saying yes to you and nurturing oneself. That's important. Everything else happening in the world is like a Hollywood production that you be kept on the edge of your seat for a little while. But eventually the movie needs to come to an end. And we need to stop and begin looking deeply within ourselves. That's what this cycle is all about. This is a powerful time as humanity enters into the next phase of our awakening and a winter season. We shall not forget. Thank you, Jillian. Love you, girl. Haven't seen you in a while. I got to put this computer on Do Not Disturb. It's driving me crazy. I meant to do that and I forgot. Sorry. So yes, we're going to have a winter that goes down in history. That's coming. Someone just asked me in the group chat on Zoom about that. A winter coming early, and that's definitely happening already. I told you I think it was the last week's show, pretty much, that we're going to see early record-breaking snowfall this month of September in certain areas as well. So keep an eye out for that. But September is a month in which we have to look deeply at all the things that no longer make us happy, the things that are pulling us and dragging us down. That's what this whole focus of this month is about. The whole 6 vibration is really over-analyzing your life to the point of what you don't want to put up with, and the crap you don't want to deal with anymore. And then we do the opposite of that, what we do want, what we do deserve, and what we're going to make happen. Come October and that 7 vibration, we start to make that stuff happen. So this can be really good for the world. It may not seem it at first, but sometimes huge events need to take place so that people can begin to tap into that 6 vibration and see what they don't want to put up with and what they're not going to deal with anymore. That's what we need. We need that energy to come in. In turn, we can look at great, amazing possibilities that are coming up. That which we want to achieve and actually giving us the strength. Thank you, MCR, for your chat cash. I have to start again. I lost my spot. It takes me all day to take my notes so that I give you proper, great information. So September is a month, again, we can look deeply at the things that no longer make us happy, things that are pulling us down and dragging us down, so that in turn, we can begin to look at more amazing possibilities, that in which we want to achieve and actually giving us the strength to actually make that happen. Thank you, Goldini. This coming weekend, in the start of the 3rd energy shift, is bound to cause some breakdowns in our matrix. In turn, we can expect problems when it comes to travel, airlines, and even cruise ships. We will see an outbreak of a flu-like virus breaking out on a popular cruise line, while travelers are forced to stay aboard. This energy can sadly bring out violence, and basically it makes the crazies go crazier. At the same time, it's a powerful time and a powerful energy that has great potential to it. Great potential to pull people together for things like good things, like fundraisers, charitable events, and acts of kindness. That's a good vibration that rolls in this month. So everything has its balance, right? Everything has positive and negative. Everything is balanced, and we need to keep that balance. Excuse me. We can expect major movements in the Earth's plates, as I've been predicting for some time. It is not only our human emotions coming up to the surface, it's also going to be Mother Earth's emotions. And we don't want to have to see too much of Mother Earth getting emotional, folks. It's definitely not something, but Spirit said today that it's going to bring up Mother Earth's emotions. So therefore, it would be expected for there to be a time of like great magma buildup in the Earth. And in turn, that buildup is going to cause one volcano to erupt that has been asleep for over a century. So I don't know anything about volcanoes, call the volcano dude, but Spirit said it will awaken, the Mother Earth's emotions will awaken a sleeping volcano that's been asleep for, I don't know if Spirit said centuries or a century, over a century. I think at first it was centuries, so we'll go with centuries and see what sleeping volcanoes could totally erupt and come into action over the next month. But also, Europe is going to be prone to earthquakes and earth plate activity. So a lot going on in that part of the globe. Even though it has been a quiet hurricane season, we should not all be surprised when these energies that come into place this weekend stir up our oceans and stir up our atmospheres. This is going to cause disturbances in the Arctic, along with bringing about great storms that form off coast of Africa. Place to keep an eye on, the coast of Africa. I was trying to read that, but my eyes aren't that good. I was trying to read the chat, but I can't really see. Anyway, these energies, going back to our energies, the rise up of emotions can also bring, sadly, disaster when these emotions belong to that of the world leaders, especially China. Spirit said to me today that this is not a month that they want to anger the Chinese leader. The emotional energy will cause several world leaders to make drastic, unexpected moves. This includes China, India, Russia, Iran, and even Germany. A potential new war breaking out around the time period of September 11th and or September 22nd. But not if we all together hold the whole light in true love, the whole world in true love and complete light. We are in charge of our future personally and universally. Thank you, Mr. Skylight. I haven't seen you in a while either. Oh, everybody coming out now, finally. Oh, that's because summertime's over for some of you and wintertime for others on the other side of the globe. So my beautiful friends, buckle up and hold on tight because the great space coaster is about to take off. Yes, remember that show? It's a great space coaster. Get on board. You have to remember that. Tea. I'm going to try to drink my tea, but every time I get done, my tea's cold. Every single time. So welcome again if you just tuned in. Welcome to episode number 31 of Tuesday's Tittle Tea Time, predictions, updates, and information. I have I don't have a ton of stuff, but I got stuff. I always got stuff for my beautiful friends, right? It took me all day working on this stuff with this foggy head because of this retrograde pre-shadow Virgo stuff for the Virgo. Messes up the fuzziness in the brain, if you know what I mean. But speaking of roller coaster rides, remember I made several predictions a few months ago about amusement parks and accidents, and I even re-elaborated on that after some of those accidents did occur. Like maybe 2 weeks ago, I may have re-mentioned it, but I mentioned this several months ago. At amusement parks and accidents, some which again have occurred. But now there sadly has been a few others that y'all sent me links to. First one was 3 people injured at a Six Flags. And I did say Six Flags, if you recall. That was one of the ones that popped out. But thankfully, there were nobody that perished in that particular one. In Mohali Fair, in Mohali, I think I said that right. 10 people were injured as a giant wheel joyride crashed to the ground. Tragic video appeared on the internet. Maybe some of you may have saw it. I did not watch it. I just got the links from you all. But just to re-elaborate on past predictions, remember that there is a 1 in 16 million chance of you being injured at an amusement park. 1 in 16 million. There's a 1 in 700,000 chance of you being struck by lightning. So when you go to the fair, have fun. Don't worry. Don't let predictions freak you out and not go on the roller coaster. Because even though I predicted a roller coaster incident that reminded me of the movie Roller Coaster from the 70s, if I go to an amusement park, I'm still getting on them darn roller coasters. I love me a good roller coaster. See, I like to say life is a roller coaster ride with lots of ups and downs, and thank goodness I love roller coasters. Makes life much easier and much more fun, much more adventurous. But yes, the bigger, the faster, the scarier. I love roller coasters. But going back to those predictions and to give you more information about that, I don't believe the roller coaster incident that I predicted happened yet. Hopefully it does not happen. But it reminded me again of the movie Roller Coaster, where people perished at the amusement park. And in that movie, the Ferris wheel was also an incident that occurred. That just popped in my mind too. I haven't watched that show in 40 years. So there's more to come. This weekend coming up, especially. Good thing that this retrograde energy and full moon come in Saturday. And, for a lot of people, going to parks and things is done since Labor Day weekend. But still be safe out there. I see issues. And then Spirit's also showing me, this isn't in my notes. Some things don't end up in my notes from my people. And I got to post that to my friends on Subscribestar. I haven't done that in a while. So keep an eye out for that in the next couple of days. I'll get a bunch of those posted for you guys. But I'm seeing a fire at a pier. Fire reminds me of fires that happened in the past in Wildwood, New Jersey, seaside. I don't know where this is occurring, but it's related to an amusement ride catching fire. Everybody will be fine. Let's just hold that in the light. Let's talk a little bit about diseases and bugs. I like to call the bug. We got algorithms that are listening to us. Months ago, I predicted an outbreak and a rise of Legionnaire's disease. You all remember that? Because remember, I couldn't think of the name of it. And then somebody helped me get the name of it. But I said that. And one of you sent me this article. Concerns rise after a study finds that 50% of the homes tested in Hamilton Township, New Jersey, are positive for Legionella bacteria. And I know I got a huge following back east. That's where I'm from, of course, Philly and all that. I've been in dozens of homes in Hamilton Township doing readings and groups. And one of y'all sent me that. But not that this is all just focused on specifically the East Coast or whatever. This is from Philadelphia newspaper. Officials in Hamilton Township, New Jersey, are concerned about bacteria in the water, especially in homes and businesses served by the Trenton Waterworks. A study found that 50% of the homes were tested positive for Legionella bacteria, which can cause Legionnaire's disease. So now this brings to mind when I talk to you all about the water. Problems with the water in the coming up, and the water wars. Remember my New Year's Day predictions? The water is being tainted, and the fight over the waters. Thank you, Brenda. Jeez, girl, thank you. And I can't read that. Darn, my eyes aren't good. Thank you. That was a great chat, Cash. I am so freaking honored and grateful. Let me see if I can read what you said, because I can't read anything on here. Why is my chat not working? Weird. What happened? My doorbell just rang. My doorbell, come in. Nobody's home. All right, let me go back to where I was. Sorry. Oh, there it is. It says, Brenda said, hi, Joseph. An inspiring thinking for you to continue your inspired work for everyone. With God, all things are possible. Thank you for your chat, Cash. Brenda, that was very, very generous of you. Thank you. Let me go back to my notes. In Legionnaires, what we were just talking about with the bugs. So sadly, this is going to become more and more common. Even more so each summer leading into 2025, according to Spirit. So folks, just be safe, take precautions, change your air filters or whatever needs to be done to prevent Legionnaires. Because, Spirit, even I agree, Spirit, I totally agree with that. More and more people are going to be using air conditioning. Look at up here in Flagstaff, Arizona. Nobody has air conditioners. They don't need them. They just don't need them. Well, this summer, they all needed them. And they probably sold out of them at the stores. Because I have friends up there, and they all had to run out and buy air conditioners. You're talking first time. They don't have any. All of a sudden, this is what's happening, and it's just going to get more intense. So things like Legionnaires is going to become, sadly, more common. Which also has to do with the breathing. And remember, anything related in the medical, every disease and illness, as you heard me say, has a specific deep-rooted emotional cause. We can heal ourselves when we attack that emotional cause. Anything with the lungs is basically not breathing life, not taking a breath of life. Suppressed, feeling like you're being smothered. So you don't want to cause yourself a disease because of that. Spirit shows me another odd outbreak related to causing rashes and itching. So y'all remember a couple years ago, or last year, some point, I don't remember. Yeah, last year, I told you that there was going to be a disease that comes out, one that affects children, which is happening, sadly, and another one that caused bumps and all on the body, which has now become the monkey bug. So that happened. So when Spirit showed me this today, I was like, well, what is this? Because I saw it looked like poison ivy, actually, literally, because the vision I had was itchy. So this is different, Spirit said, and it's actually nothing to become overly concerned about, even though they're going to try to make you be concerned. Remember, the emotional cause of fear, the emotional cause of the flu and that kind of type of bug is fear, belief in mass statistics. That's all out of Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life. So speaking of bugs, I do, as I said in the intro, see an issue with cruise line ships. One outbreak feels to me like it may happen over the next few weeks. Spirit also showed me other issues arising from cruise lines during the winter months. Not only due to an outbreak or breakout of a bug, but some followed by bad food or, food poisoning. But also issues when it comes to one specific cruise line when they attempt to refuel. So I didn't get clarity. Spirit said that cruise lines run into a major issue when attempting to refuel. So we'll have to see how that plays out. I see somewhat of a rescue of some cruise line stuck out at sea or stuck ashore, perhaps stuck on something and needing a pull. I had visions of people being loaded off a ship and onto smaller boats and taking them out. And that vision comes to me again very clearly. So that's what Spirit shows me. 2 years ago, speaking of bugs, approximately 2 years, maybe a little give or take, a few months, I made a prediction, and I'm just going to read the article to you. My buddy Jeff sent me this 5 minutes before we went live. Americans may need yearly shots to protect against the bug. The bug. The bug. Anyway. Yes, celebrity veterinarian. Oh, no, that's not the article. Of course, it's coming from Controlling News Network. Yes, Controlling News Network or Crazy News Network. Americans may need to get a single one every year. You know what I'm talking about? Into the arm. Federal health officials said on Tuesday, making clear that the country will be living with the bug for an unforeseeable future. Leave it to Controlling News Network to leave something like that out there. I'm sure Big Pharma paid them a lot of money to do that article. But hey, whatever makes you happy. If that's what you feel like you need, go for it. Me, not happening. Let's talk about the Pope, because this is really interesting. This one's really interesting. I mean, get rid of this one here and Pope Francis instructs the Vatican entities to move all their funds to the Vatican Bank by September 30th. Right? Pope Francis has ordered that the Holy See and connected entities move all their financial assets to the Institute of Works of Religion, the IOR, commonly known as the Vatican Bank. The Pope's rescript, issued on August 23rd, clarifies the interpretation of a paragraph in the new constitution of the Roman Cura. I didn't know they had one. um, Promulgated in March. According to Francis Rescript, financial and liquid assets held by banks other than the IOR must be moved to the Vatican Bank within 30 days of September 1st. The IOR, based in Vatican City State, has 110 employees and 14,519 clients as of 2021. It looked after 5.2 billion euros, or $5.6 billion of client assets. Though commonly called the bank, the IOR is technically a financial institution with no branches working within the Vatican City State to provide services to clients, which include the Holy See and connected entities, religious orders, clergy, Catholic institutions, and Holy See employees. So interesting. According to the annual report, the financial institution, 19 million net profit in 2021 was down from 44 million in 2020. That's a huge collapsing of their little economy that they got going on there at the Vatican. They have their own bank, their own banking system, their own constitution, their own police, and quite a little creation they got going on there, right? You know my whole opinion on the whole thing. If you were the devil, where's the best place to hide? In the Vatican. Just saying. Best place for the devil to hide. It's kind of like, what's the best place to rob? The place next to the police station. Because there's no police there. Same thing. Best place for the devil to reside. But let me tell you a little bit about my predictions revolved around this in the economy. Pope Francis. So why is the Pope doing this? Why? I think it's pretty obvious why. Something's going on. Something big time's going on. As I said in the past, eventually they will initiate a new global currency. They meaning the dark lords, overlords. And this is the goal of the dark overlords. I also have said that we can expect crazy markets and significant drops in our markets coming now through October, but even more so in November. Remember, November will be an 8 vibration, which is all about money and finances. So again, this is all the more reason to make sure you hit the like, make sure you subscribe and set your notifications on your phone, on your device, and on YouTube so that you are up to date. As we get closer, of course, I'll get more information. We're only in September, so we've got plenty of time to talk about November. But this could be a clear sign from the Pope himself when it comes to world currencies and who is controlling everything, including the church. Will the church be protected when the current system collapses? Obviously not if the Pope's making these huge moves this month. This also tells us anything that affects the church's bank account will soon be expected to fall and collapse. So again, anything that affects the church and the church's bank accounts, these vendors or whatever, apparently there's a collapse that's going to happen, a fall revolved around the church, which probably again has to do with their plan of the new world currency. Because, you know, Pope's all aboard with putting that chip in you and getting you the mark of the beast, all aboard on it. So this also tells us anything that affects the church's bank's accounts not only will fall, but the church already knows what's going to happen. And it's not because they have a new psychic working in there giving the Pope advice. That's not why. Maybe dark lord overlord psychics. But this should be alarming to everybody. That you know, we know the Vatican's its own little country, its own little control. Look, and that they have their own little constitution and everything. And look at all the bad things that happened revolved around the church over the past few decades. Things I predicted. People told me I was crazy 15 years ago when I told them that there was going to be a major collapse of the church. And they all told me I was crazy. And then it happened. And then they had to pay out billions of dollars to all those poor people that were abused through that network. And it's just collapsing more. But, you know, kind of look at it from the side of the darkness. The darkness wants everything to collapse because they want not only a new global currency, they want a new global religion and a global government as well. They talk about it all the time. We've talked about it many times. So they're getting ready for something, folks. That's why I thought that story about the Pope was really important, and thank you to the person that shared that article. Keep in mind that, please, like when you're sharing stuff, please do so in the comments below. Please do not email my office. I get way too many emails. Anything that has to do with prediction, anything that I talk about or discuss on YouTube, leave in the comments. I will see them. And if you're leaving a link to like a video or something, make sure you put a caption as to what it is, because otherwise they don't get published. Because people aren't just going to click on a random link unless they know what it is. So but thank you, because all that information, I look at all that, like I said. Let's talk about the elite. Elite, the 1%, the Luciferians, psychopaths, sickos, devil worshippers. What else can we say? The Illuminati. So members of the 1% are suddenly falling from windows in high buildings to their deaths. Are you aware of this? Because it's actually been happening a lot more. It's just recent ones are the only ones that you're knowing about. There's been quite a few. The latest one was the CFO of Beds Bath & Beyond. That's probably the one you heard of. Suddenly thrown out a window and down to the ground. Now, of course, they'll write this off as suicides, of course, but we know that's not the case. Why do we know this? Because I predicted this way back. I told you that there was going to be a dying off of elite, and that there were going to be basically like serial killer murder taking out the elite. And we were going to see them drop one at a time. And I said some of them would actually be taken out like murdered. Some are going to bail out on their own, but I don't feel like that's happening yet. And you would know, like when they say it's suicide, they're just saying it. But when they say it's suicide and there's a whole thing of what happened with corruption and all coming out, and then they commit suicide, that we can fall for. That one we can believe. We haven't seen that yet, but Spirit says that's coming to really soon to a movie near you, to a theater near you. So I said that the elite dying off, and I didn't realize that, like many of you that may have just learned because of the Beds Bath & Beyond CFO jumping out a window, or being thrown out a window is more like it. Unless you show me someone that shows me that they jumped out that window, I don't believe it. Sorry. But also, excuse me, the chairman to a Russian oil company supposedly fell 6 stories from a hospital window. That's right. And of course, you know, who are they going to blame? Russia, of course. They're going to blame Putin. Maybe Putin did do it. Who knows? But they're going to blame him anyway, even if he didn't do it. A chairman of a Russian oil company that criticized, see, this is how news puts it out to you, you know. God, Russia. Chairman of oil company criticized Putin's invasion of Ukraine. Dies after plunging from a 6th floor hospital window. Latest official to die in a mysterious fall. You love how they put that out there to you. Let's see. He was 67 years old, chairman of Russian Lukoil. He's the latest of a number of top Russian officials who have fallen from windows. So now, you know, this was all a Russia thing. You know, a week ago, it was all Russia. And Putin's killing all these people, throwing them out the windows, which could be the KGB. Who knows? Who really cares? The leader being taken out. They need to be. Some of them need to go. They're controlling everything. They're bringing darkness on our planet. But now we're seeing it in the United States, or I'm guessing that's where the CFO of Beds Bath & Beyond, where it occurred. And now Spirit says, now you're going to really see it. Now you're really going to see it. And they will start dropping. Not only that, again, previous predictions about resignations and such. This is a time, this month that we're in, September into October, and really till the end of the year. But right now, companies, and this isn't in my notes, just so you know, companies are doing and are going to do major layoffs. Major companies, major corporations are doing layoffs. This is coming. And some of them, it's all to screw people out of the money. You know, and I know that from someone within the family circle that just happened to, and I knew it. They, you know, give you, oh, well, if you stay here till this time, we're going to give you all these stocks and all this stuff. And then they get rid of you right before that time comes. So if you work for a company that tells you, hey, we're going to give you this great bonus, you know, if you stay on till next year, this date, we're going to give you all these free stocks and everything, you better start looking for your job now, because that's what they're doing. And this is happening with big companies. I'm not going to mention any of them here because I'm just not, but just be aware of that. I'm going back to these people falling out of the building. The chairman of a Russian oil company that criticized Putin's invasion of Ukraine has been found dead in a suspicious circumstances after he plunged from a 6th-floor window at a Moscow hospital. I was thinking there was a list of all of them because there's been many. There's been many in Russia anyway. But of course, they're going to make that all part of their mass media. Oh, he's killing people. He's an awful person. And again, he might be. Who knows? Who cares? It's the elite. I say the Lord's taking them out. No matter whether they're being murdered or not, the good Lord, their contract on this planet, their sole mission is complete. And it seems that, according to Spirit, many of their soul missions are going to be complete soon. So that's why we're going to see different elite. Some of them will die natural causes, few of them. Especially the really old ones that are like in their 90s and they're, pushing 100. We couldn't be lucky for that to be the Rothschilds and the other ones. Thank you, Gwen. Much love. So, what else is Spirit? Oh, so massive layoffs are coming from big corporations. Like AT&T, GoodRx, and companies that are known to screw over their employees. Verizon, some of the cable companies like Comcast. This is coming to me now, so you know. So be aware. Including Biden's going to pull some kind of, get rid of a certain amount of government employees too. So our government employees need to beware. Spirit's giving me this information now. So this isn't, again, in any notes. He just hired 87,000 IRS, and they're going to all learn to carry guns so that they come and shoot us, take our money like the old days. So he's got to fill in that 87,000 new hires, probably laying off 87,000 somewhere else. So beware. I'll hopefully get more information about that in the future because, again, that only just came to me now. So remember my predictions last year about the elite being murdered? I read that already, sorry. Oh, no. Yeah, so my predictions last year about the elite beginning to be murdered while some begin to disappear. That's another thing Spirit said. Some are going to disappear, which we can already know well, no, not all of them. I was going to say we know they're dead if they disappear, but Spirit's like, nope. Hiding. They're going into hiding. So we'll have to remember that. They're not missing presumed dead. They're missing and escaped and are hiding. So that's coming. But this is exactly what's happening, Spirit says. Wait until 2023 is what my guide said to me today. You'll see in January. I don't know what that means. Spirit said wait till 2023 and you'll see in January. But also before and after January 2023. One elite and his family will be poisoned by their own chef. So any of those elite people out there watching this, I'm sure they're not, but if they are, watch, your chef might poison you. I'm sure he's being paid or directed to do so. Going back to Putin, actually. Putin cut off Nord Stream 1, as you know by now. And this will totally align. Could align with my previous predictions of power outages and people freezing to death in record numbers. Remember, I said that to you. Some of it in January. I said January. I think it was January's New Year's Day predictions that I do annually. Spirit sometimes talks and doesn't finish. Power outages. I talked about major power outages. But the big concerning thing was people freezing to death. So that's one of the things I've been looking into is for the indoors, because I do have propane tank, but my propane tank and my heater sucks up propane like crazy. So I usually use my fireplace basically, and one of those little electric ones to keep the other side of the house warm. Or I like it chilly anyway. I like it 69, 70 degrees. But I was looking into little portable propane ones to have to run because they cool off your house fast, warm up your house faster. But these are things I've been considering that I urge you to start considering yourselves, my friends. because certain parts, it's going to be a record-breaking winter. And I know, and you know, that they have a way of manipulating weather patterns. And they want so bad to take out as many humans as they can because they are sick, disgraceful people. And when we're prepared, and that's why they like to take people's information away, because they don't want you to know. Remember, being aware will help you to prepare. Pretty simple. So, doom and gloom is going to happen, folks, no matter what. There's always doom and gloom, and there's always hope and joy and happiness as well. But, this is all about preparing and making sure that you're set so that they don't fulfill their mission of darkness and evil, which they won't in the end. We will win. But being that Europe is heading into a record-breaking winter, according to Spirit, and already they're nowhere near prepared for normal energy consumption for the winter, let alone that which will be needed when temperatures drop, along with record-breaking snowfalls. So, if they're not ready, especially Germany, they're not ready already, are not prepared energetically. They shut down 2 of their nuclear plants with absolutely no valuable backup plan. None at all. So again, I warn you all, once again, to start preparing for the winter months. Have backup heat, lights, candles, and so forth. Especially candles. When I was younger, I used to burn so many candles in my room at one time that I'd have to open the window. It got so hot in there. So candles can, you need a bunch, but candles in a small room can help warm up the area a little bit. Anyway, it helps bring it up a little bit. A little bit's better than none. And of course, food and things in case you can't get out. I've been telling you that for 2 years. But I see several large power plants, both in Europe, but even in the United States and Canada, having major issues. One power plant outage will be blamed, of course, on a hack. Even though Spirit said it'll be blamed on a hack, even though the place can't be hacked. So I thought that was funny. Spirit, I told you, my Spirit guys have got great sense of humor. They're like, yeah, they're going to tell you it's been hacked, even though that particular plant can't be hacked. It's an on and off switch, basically. And a takeover of our energy resources. We're going to see that too. Spirit just wanted me to tell you, and I'm learning this myself, that governments are going to start taking over power resources, like literally taking control of the electric companies and the power companies. That's part of the one world government, folks. It's exactly what it is. I never even thought of that, but it's true. In Spirit, they never let me down. You guys are always right. I might be wrong. I might interpret it wrong, but these guys, they're always right on freaking point. Anyway, anything to take out our attention from the truth. That's another thing Spirit said to me today. Oh yeah, it was hacked. But it's anything they can do to take your attention away from the actual truth. I also see Russia taking out someone's, likely Ukraine's, power plant. January will be very significant, but also will be the last 2 weeks of this year. So a time to look into the last 2 weeks of this year into January. Very important time, and a time where these events may potentially occur. I see Putin making a bold move to take over new land in space. And I said this before I did a reading on him, remember, way back? I said he would acquire new land in space. So the Spirit said that today, takeover. But this is a new takeover. Spirit says, beware of mass media false storylines. Okay? So remember, when and if this does occur, and Russia does take over new land in space, remember, Spirit said, beware of mass media false storylines. They all had the same storyline too, always. You know how that is. It's a tragedy. I was talking earlier about 12 people being shot in Philadelphia over the weekend. Every holiday weekend seems to bring out the worst in people. Have you noticed that? This will also be the case for this coming full moon weekend and all the way into early October. The energy in the events that are going, the energy that we're going into, and we're kind of in it a little bit, but we're really in it this weekend. That energy that we're going into, along with it's going to anger people, basically. Not all people, but it's going to anger people on a whole new level. And of course, there's going to have to be events that occur that really do anger people, but even just in their daily life, people are just going to be angry. So just be aware of angry people. and be joyful and balance that out. They could be angry, you could be joyful and happy. It helps balance out their negative energies. It actually does help, believe it or not. When somebody's miserable or unhappy and then you smile or do something nice gesture for them, it changes their whole day. See, that balance of energies can balance things out. So this energy could be both a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing is, like I said in the past, people are going to start to step up and take their power back. And I never finished that part. Darn. I hate when that happens. Because sometimes Spirit talks to me so much that I start something and then I have to go write something down and then I forgot to go back to that. So let me just read that to you again and see what I can get for you in live mode. Both a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing with these energies and the anger, as I said in the past, it's going to help people to rise up, step up, and take their power back. So yeah, that's it. It's exactly it. You can only piss the people off so much. And then people are going to step up and they're going to step into their power and they're going to start to come at these people, and that's what we need. We need all humanity to step up, take control, take our power back, and not give all our power away to these politicians that don't care about anything but their bank accounts. They care less about you. So with that said, that's the good thing. A bad thing is unfortunately, we're going to see a lot of angry, agitated events take place over the next 2 weeks. Spirit's showing me an event that takes place at a sporting event, outside a sporting event, possibly in LA, actually. Again, these aren't in my notes. I'm channeling this to you now. So an event, likely a shooting type event outside of a sports center, likely in LA. And then I also see another concert issue coming up with people being trampled, like that concert that happened months ago, that satanic evil concert. There's another one of them coming. So folks, and if you got kids going to concerts, tell them to be careful. Stay away from the negative. You'll feel the energy. Just go in and feel the energy. If you don't feel right, leave. Excuse me. So moving right along. So I got a bunch of predictions for you. I gave you a bunch of predictions, but here's more predictions for you. Large corporate layoffs cause concerns that bring about a huge city protest. So I just talked about that a few minutes ago because it wasn't in my notes. I was channeling information, and I told you about large corporate layoffs and all that. But Spirit also told me one of these large layoffs causes concerns and brings about a large city protest. I would imagine that would have to be in the United States. I would imagine. I could be wrong. It could be in Europe. It could be UK. But it felt like US to me. Germany is very fragile. My friends in Germany. I got relatives that still live in Germany. I don't know who they are, but I know that they're my relatives. I finished my tea before it was ice cold. Yay! Germany is very fragile, as you know, and is like an expensive, fragile piece of art, piece of crystal art, being shipped to outer space on a road full of potholes. That's what Germany's like right now. Again, Germany is like this precious piece of artwork that's made of crystal, and it's about to be shipped out of this universe on a very bumpy pot road. So it's basically, it can break and shatter very easily. Basically meaning, again, Germany may very easily, very likely is going to experience many cracks and breaks in its infrastructure and its political arena, especially when the power goes out during one of the coldest winters on record. So folks, if you've been watching me long enough, I've been warning our friends in Germany for over a year, maybe even 2 years. Not just Germany, all Europe, but Germany. Before even the whole Ukraine, before all that, I'm telling you, Germany. Spirit's been yelling Germany to me for years. Big things and big things, not all good. So our friends in Germany, be safe and take all the advice as far as being prepared and having everything you need. Now, if people would have listened to that advice 2 years ago when I gave it to you, actually it was in early 2020. about preparing for outages and all that. If you started to do that and all, then you should be good. This shouldn't be worrying you. There's always time to prepare, no matter where you are. As our weather systems become more and more intense, you're going to want to have a plan. You're going to want to always have stock on everything. Just, again, sit around and be like, what if there's no power for a month? Can I do this? Do I have enough candles to burn at night? Can I start going to bed earlier so it's not dark? You have to have a plan, folks. It's just important. And we see that. And we're going to see it even more as this winter comes about in different parts of the world. And again, Spirit said, coldest winter on record. And I think that's for Germany, not just Germany, but globally. Remember the dates, the 11th and the 22nd. And Spirit says a world leader is going to make a bold, radical move. Likely, potentially the 11th and or the 22nd of this month. 29th just popped in my mind. We always know 29 always brings in things. So pay attention to storms. It's not in my notes, but I'm going to put it in here real quick. On the 29th, big storms. That could be the hurricane type stuff. We'll get more information next week, hopefully, about that. Spirit keeps pointing to India while giving me mixed feelings around India. I feel that India is in for a rough ride in many different forms and different ways. First, with political upheaval, and then military concerns, along with a series of weather events that actually hit poverty-stricken areas. I saw visions of rescue teams and aid coming in from Europe and surrounding areas. So prayers to our friends in India. I saw major controversy that will break out once again around, of course, the elections, not just necessarily the United States, but globally. It's all part of the awakening, and it's all part of the numbers that we're in, the planetary alignments, all this stuff. It's all coming to the surface. I mean, it only just with voting, for example, that came to the surface a couple of years ago, but it's about to fire up big time globally, not just one place. Something strong comes out of one state in the United States. I had a strong feeling about this true fraud event taking place, like literally a true fraud event around a state election of some sort. I'm not sure what state, but this looked like a big thing, and I would imagine this is coming up in November. But keep an eye. We'll have to see. It specifically was focused on one state, is what Spirit showed me. So we'll have to see how that arises, and hopefully I'll get more information. That's why it's good to hit that like button, subscribe button, and check out every Tuesday, because there's always more information. And then predictions I make, I often get more information and more details so that we can really hone in on the future together. I see you in my future. I see some type of negative event revolved. Oh, wait, let me go back. I forgot one part, back to votes and stuff. Spirit said several countries will experience people rising up against election results. So again, several countries rising up around results. So that'll be interesting, what countries that ends up being. This is all soon. Some of this is soon. So I don't know what the elections are in different countries or places, but if there's something coming up, I know November here, but if there's something coming up soon, something feels really soon to me. So I see some type of negative event revolved around shipping containers moving crude oil across the waters. It appeared to me that this could have some type of military involvement. I was not completely clear if it was related or if it was two separate things, but I also saw a large container of oil, crude oil container, leaking across icy waters, perhaps closer to Russia or the Antarctica. So again, I wasn't sure if this was two things or all in one, but there's something to do with oil, crude oil going across the waters, and it appears like military intervention. So that's going to be interesting. What are we going to fight over oil now? Like, be for real. And then the other one was I saw a big container. It looked like it was the ship was slightly tilted in the water, like it was sinking. And it felt like icy cold waters to me. I didn't see it because it was in the ocean, but I felt icy cold waters. So let's hold the oceans in the love and light so that does not occur. May it be protected Dear Lord, amen. I see some type of fire coming out of Chicago. Also, like the city itself is on fire, but it is not completely on fire, but a good part of it is. I feel that this could be related or caused initially by an explosion that spreads a city block or further. It was big. I mean, like, it was like historic. Didn't they have? I think they had one in Chicago. If I remember my history classes in grade school, I think it was Chicago. But that pops in my mind. So if it was Chicago, it could be a flashback to that. So friends in Chicago, I know we got lots of people in Chicago. So be aware and take care. Be aware and take care. I talked about recalls, remember? And currently there is a romaine lettuce issue with fast food restaurant Wendy's. I didn't read the whole article. I just saw that briefly today about the whole problem with the romaine lettuce and with that particular chain of fast food restaurants. Almost identical to what I described in the past. Be aware, you remember, of leafy greens. Spirit said that to me today. Be aware of leafy greens, says Spirit Guides. Wash food off very well and avoid chains, like restaurant chains or whatever, fast food, and salad bars. Soon we will see several cases of foodborne illnesses occurring at several popular food chains or chains. One breakout comes from a salad bar in a restaurant. That tea just isn't settling. Another comes from fast food through lettuce, tomato, or onions. Spirit says grow your own food, cook your own darn food, and avoid chains and fast food services. Spirit told me to tell you today. Again, Spirit says grow your own food, cook your own food, avoid chains and fast food services. I told you my guys have a sense of humor, but they're very serious at the same time. Moving on, we should expect there to be an uptick in sudden devastating storms and shifts in the Earth plates beginning this weekend. Again, especially if you've been following me long enough, every time we go into these energies and I tell you about the energy shifts, nobody talks about the energy shifts because I've been talking about them since 2011, 2012, when they first started, actually 2012. But these energy shifts, nobody talks about them. Spirit told me about it. And, so if anybody else is telling you about these energy shifts that start on the full moon, you know where they learned that from. But as I said, and as I've been saying, every time there's one, it always causes an uptick in weather events. But again, today, Spirit reminded me of that and reminded me that the plates are going to begin to shift, especially this weekend. I see some type of tsunami warning in effect coming from a deep ocean earthquake. Fortunately, it feels to me to be nothing to worry about. But this quake will unleash other larger quakes. And this reminds me, I don't know the details, but in the past I talked about some quake happening, setting off a series of events. I don't remember what it is or what I said. It might have been last week or the week before, but that popped into my mind again. I see quakes hitting China, like I said before, but again, this time China is going to get hit even harder. I told you they were going to get a really big one, and they did. 6.6 tons of damage. But Spirit told me today they're going to get hit harder in the next round. Quakes will also affect Japan, California, Alaska, and near the border of Germany and France, both. Probably the same quake. I see a whole vibration, and as I'm talking to you, I get a map of Europe, and there's one Central Europe. I'm geographically challenged. I know what Europe looks like, but I don't know what's in the dead center. Dead center. Hopefully nobody did, but dead center of Europe is what Spirit's showing me right now, that vision. I wish I had a map in front of me to know what's in dead center of Europe. That's not my notes either. I should remember to put that in my notes. But Alaska and near the border of Germany and France, an Arctic earthquake will cause ice the size of California to break off, which again reminds me of a past prediction. I talked about something with ice a while ago, like 6-7 months ago. I don't remember what that was, but that memory popped up slightly. It's a foggy memory, but it popped up. Quakes are going to damage buildings and structures, including a bridge, which may collapse in California. I also see a shaking coming to New York City. Not huge, but enough to scare the pants off of people. I hear horns going off, so it's going to shake some horns on some cars. I see some even coming to Yellowstone National Park, but I also see some type of big event. It's supposed to say event, not even, happening in Yellowstone. And remember, I said earlier this year that there would be evacuations, which did occur, but Spirit was making me feel that there's a big event of sorts coming to Yellowstone that likely could align with my predictions of another evacuation. Spirit also tells me now that don't be alarmed when there's earthquake activity around Yellowstone. That is the place that you really need not worry about right now. Right now. So when? Not now. Smart Alex. I'm like, when? They're like, not now. I'm like, but when? Not now. So don't worry about Yellowstone, my friends, says the spirits. Yellowstone is not going to blow. I hate to tell you, but it's not going to happen in our lifetimes, and you better hope it don't happen, because if it did, we'd all be dead. I don't see that happening. It's just don't. And I'm going to go visit Yellowstone as soon as I have the ability to take my show to the road. Right now, I got my almost 16-year-old baby girl. So once I'm able to travel, that's the first place I'm heading, Yellowstone. Can't wait. Anyway, a warning goes out to our friends in the South, our friends down south in the United States. I see great storms coming and bringing with them the wildest tornado activity ever. Kentucky popped in my mind really strong. Perhaps this is where these storms are rising up or possibly happening. And I see 3 states wide, like literally half the United States, 3 states wide with tornadoes. The Spirit shows me this vision now. It's like 3 states wide, and there's like a line of tornadoes going down the map and going across. So it's like tornadoes hitting. I guess I would interpret that Spirit saying that there's going to be tornadoes, a storm that's 3 states wide that brings tornadoes to 3 different states all at the same time. Let's hope not. They don't need that down there. We don't need that anywhere. But be prepared no matter where you are, because also we're going to see tornado activity happening in Nevada. That's what Spirit just told me. Nevada. When they get their storms, you can expect that to also be aligned with some sandstorms. Remember, I told you that there'd be massive flooding in Vegas, and it did happen a couple weeks ago, or within the past month. Vegas is in trouble energetically. It's in trouble. I've said it, for the past few years that Vegas will eventually become a ghost town. Eventually. That's quite a bit ways off, but eventually it would happen. Which, reminds me about water. That's the big problem, right? Water. I'll have some water, come to think of it. Love your water, my friends. Love your water. I thought about this today. I had a conversation with my pop about this. We were talking, I was reminding my father, who's 83 years old, that like Elon Musk, the alien from another planet, who poses as the light, built and created something that we've been talking about for centuries. They built and created a huge system in South Africa that takes the salt water and makes it into fresh water. Now, Pop said that they've been doing that forever because the ships, the Navy ships, filter the water so they have drinking water on their ship. So it's not new technology. It's just a newer technology that Musk came up with. So if that's the case, all y'all down there in California, y'all want your total electric car state and want to be your own country, right? That's what they all want it. Why don't you all gather together and start contacting Elon Musk and take all that damn tax money that you pay, the ridiculous amount of money you pay for everything in California, and take that money and get Elon Musk to build you one of them darn things. If he could do it in South Africa, why is he not doing it here? Makes you wonder, right? Because there would be no water issues. If our oceans are rising and they put these things on all these, on the coast that change it into drinking water, we'll eliminate a couple things. We'll eliminate problems with water and water shortages, and we'll help lower the oceans. It's just common sense to me. But why are they not doing this? Because they don't want you to have this. That's the thing. They don't want that. They want to destroy California. They want you to go into drought. They want that. Like, it's unbelievable to me. I mean, it's like, what the hell? Like, what the hell? So, speaking of craziness, Hollywood. I see a Hollywood fire followed by a storm of sorts. This fire is both literal and the storm is metaphorical. So Spirit showed me a major fire hitting northern Hollywood. Some of this would be affecting Celebrity Home. Might even be started there, but the dryness is going to make it spread. That's what Spirit just said. And then the storm, followed by a storm. So we'll have to look for the fire first that burns the Celebrity Home. And then followed by that storm, followed by that fire, there'll be a big storm, a metaphorical storm. Things are going to get very stormy. And I predicted that around Hollywood in the past. But yeah, it's about time for some truth to come out. That's another thing we can expect to happen. During these energy shifts, a lot of truth comes to the surface. And, you know, like Jack Nicholson said, for some people, you can't handle the truth. So true. Some people just cannot handle the truth. But the truth hurts, like they say as well. But lots of truth is coming out. Did you know that Bill Gates funded a factory that breeds 30 million mosquitoes a week that they plan on releasing into 11 countries? That's right. He's funding a factory that breeds 30 million mosquitoes a week. And they plan to release these in 11 countries. There's that number 11. We know about those numbers, 11, 22, 29. You know, I told you all about those. No coincidence there. I just thought I'd mention that at the end because it's kind of creepy. God only knows. So if this is going to happen, I'll have to look deeper into this and see where he's releasing them. And we'll have to keep an eye on where they're released and what kind of things stir up afterwards. What kind of bugs suddenly show up. And I don't mean bugs like mosquitoes. I mean bugs like in the body. So it reminds me also of that creepy speech that Biden did with that red light behind him. Talk about worshiping the devils. I just thought it was really creepy. That popped in my mind. Creepy. From a fake White House set. It's kind of interesting, right? It's an interesting world that we live in, my beautiful friends. An interesting world. It's a beautiful world. And remember, you can make anything happen. Anything is possible, and everything is possible. Possible. And your potential is unlimited. Absolutely anything and everything can and will happen. So focus on what you want. Don't focus on what you don't want, because humans have a very bad habit of focusing constantly on the things they don't want instead of what we want. The law of attraction, what you put out, what you think is what you get. So start to focus on what you do want. Focus on what you do want and what is possible, because anything and everything is possible. And I'm going to leave you with that for today. But until the next time, don't forget to click that like button and show those algorithms. Thank you all for your love and support through your chat cash and through PayPal. If I missed anybody, I apologize, but I think I got everybody. But sometimes it pops up when I'm talking and I can't see everything that pops up. Did I miss somebody on here? Oh, and thank you. Nope, got it. Cool beans. Don't forget to hit that subscribe bell and all that. And don't forget, most importantly, to love yourself so that you can love others as well. Celebrate life, celebrate you. Be kind to others as you wish others to be kind to you, because we all know mean people, yeah, they suck. Have a great, beautiful day. Spiritman JT signing off. Namaste and much love.